The Heretic. University lecturer Dr. Diane Castle's boss and one-time lover Professor Kevin Maloney is trying to suppress her recent research into sea levels, as its results contradict the university's conformist stand upon global warming. Kevin, hoping to win a lucrative and high-profile research project for the university, pressurizes Diane to tone down her controversial lectures, during which she tries to teach the students to reanalyze accepted views over climate change. He also attempts to make her withhold her research findings until the research project decision has been made. Kevin refuses to take the violent threats that Diane has been receiving from green activists seriously. Castle's daughter Phoebe, an erratic anorexic, is there when her mother meets her new student, Ben Schotter, a fervent environmentalist, and the two are immediately attracted to one another. Even though Ben disagrees with Diane's politics, he returns to her one-on-one tutorials in the hope of meeting Phoebe once more. In their lessons, Diane teaches him to view science objectively, and not about manipulation of scientific fact. Ben begins to enjoy his lessons, and Diane sees potential in him, despite his sometimes irrational and overly emotional outbursts about his estranged family, and his history of self-abuse. To Diane's horror, he holds a knife to his wrist during one of their tutorials. He calms down when she agrees to let Ben visit her and her daughter during the Christmas break. Meanwhile, the death threats against Diane become worse. Jeff Tordoff, who provides site services for the campus, including security, is of only limited help, seemingly more concerned with turning off Diane's lights than with the threats. Kevin discovers that Diane has published her skeptical research regardless of his pressure, and he summons her to a disciplinary hearing, which she refuses to take seriously, using a small soft toy polar bear as her union representative. She is suspended from the university. Over Christmas, Diane and Phoebe go down to their countryside home. Jeff breaks into their home while they are out and hides himself in a bedroom upstairs. A depressed Kevin turns up at their home, having been thrown out by his wife, and having lost the research project to another university. Kevin apologizes to Diane for his behavior, and their old romantic history is stirred up again. Ben arrives and he and Phoebe are getting on well until he becomes distracted by Kevin and Diane, who are looking into the opposing university's research, having hacked into their website. They discover that the university has manipulated their research results to support their own climate change standpoint. Ben plays Phoebe a song he wrote for her, and enthralled she takes him to the barn, where they smoke cannabis. They supply some to Kevin, who regrets the end of his relationship to Diane. Phoebe announces to her mother that she is going to move in with Ben. Diane panics, worried that Ben won't be able to cope with Phoebe's anorexia, or that she might become pregnant. She says that Phoebe has threatened to kill herself if she becomes pregnant, rather than bringing another person into the world. In a blazing row with her mother, Phoebe starts to have chest pains, before collapsing with a heart attack. Hearing the family's distress, Jeff runs downstairs and administers first aid to Phoebe, admitting to Diane that he and his environmentalist group were the ones sending the threatening messages. They had intended to kidnap her that night. 8 months later, Diane and Kevin are about to attend Phoebe's marriage to Ben. Phoebe is heavily and happily pregnant. Kevin gives Diane a peer review of her speech, about which she is nervous, and which is a eulogy of mankind's place in the universe. They leave for the wedding.